ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Snap Material Podcast. We have returned. We are going to give you a good idea of what we thought of X-Men End of Days. We're also going to give you an idea of what we think of the upcoming season, which is titled Daredevil Crimson Twilight, which is not what I was fully expected to just be Daredevil Shadowlands, but no. Crimson Twilight.
Born Again.
Or Born, yeah, something like that. But nope, not the case. We've got our meta and unlocks for the month of April on hand, and we also have a top 5 that we are going to be revealing here in a little bit. So, Evan Bevan's X-Men End of Days, that dropped April 7th of 2026. Our first card was the Season Pass card. It was Stryfe, 4 cost, 6 power. Objective, play 3 on reveal cards. Use the highest cost on reveal in your hand. So, yeah, I put a note on here about how in our last video, we had somebody that was watching and left a comment on YouTube and said that we should have mentioned how well this paired with Fin Fang Foom. And granted, I certainly wasn't thinking that because I don't own Foom, but I remember seeing stuff happen during the games that definitely supported what this guy thought. I saw Stryfe a lot this season. Did you have any experience, any fun times with Stryfe?
I saw him a lot, and yeah, oftentimes he was calling in Fin Fang Foom, which is probably the most powerful ally he's ever worked with.
Yeah.
The Mutant Liberation Front with Forearm and Dragonus.
Zero?
Oh, yeah. Good old Zero.
Zero, yeah.
Yeah, but at least Zero was, like, useful. It's like,
yeah.
Forearm. You're not even the first mutant villain with 4 arms, and also you spelled it wrong. Come on, dude.
Not a whole lot on my end, other than I did see him a good bit. And yes, definitely paired with Fin Fang Foom.
Definitely a cool card and useful if you've got a big card that's an on-reveal that you can't deliver.
Mm-hmm.
I can see him being useful. Wasn't enough to tempt me to get the season pass, and I'm not sure I've ever seen his bald look before, but now I'm forgetting his pointy helmet because I've seen that one so much.
Right. Yeah, I could say that I haven't either.
You get the season pass.
I did not. I didn't get it.
Man, that's like the 90s card they've put out in some time.
It really is.
Especially because after the 90s, he pretty much disappeared.
He goes away.
He's shown up a time or two, but like...
Right.
Yeah. Even the Mac shown up in the 21st century.
Yeah. I wasn't tempted enough to grab him. So going on to
you got to be careful grabbing him because he's very pointy.
Yes, he is. Quite. Going on to the super premium pass card of the season, which was Techno-Organic Virus. This was a skill card. 1 cost. On reveal, copy this to your hand with +2 cost. Infect your other cards here. Replace their text. Infected cards have ongoing +1 power for each Techno-Organic Virus you've played. When we recorded last, I believe I had seen... I think my note was something about how Mobius, not Morbius. Yeah, that's right. Because I remember that was a whole bit. You were like trying to figure out how Morbius factored into the combo, but it was Mobius. I put a note on here about how this morning I got beat by it pretty good. Somebody used Techno-Organic Virus to a pretty good degree and whipped me pretty good. But other than that, I didn't really feel like I was missing out on a whole lot here. What did you think here of Techno-Organic Virus, and what did you run into?
I did not get the super premium pass, but I did eventually get the card. Well, my first thought was to put it in a deck with cards that you don't really want their abilities. So I just put it into my Moth Isley deck, which is what I call the Wretched Hive of Scum and Villainy, featuring Nightmare and Typhoid Mary and Red Skull. I may have actually bumped out Enchantress for it. So I used him there some. I definitely experimented with it.
Okay. I mean, I'm sure. Was the Brood involved? I assume the Brood
was not involved. I didn't think of that one.
Okay.
Oh, I can't even find where I put it now.
Imagine the strategy is filling up the lane and then laying that out. And then you get another lane. Then you can drop it as a 3 cost or whatever.
Yeah. I did drop him into my all-night party deck, which is the one with Cersei, where I've got cards that they either do what they're either on reveals or activates that they don't have much utility once they've done what they're there to do.
Okay.
So I put them in there, but I think I tried like some kind of ongoing deck with them, but
Did you run it? Was people using them against you a lot?
I saw them a little bit. I feel like I haven't really hit the full potential. Honestly, I was experimenting with it a lot at first, and then I had to stop because one thing led to another, and I had to send one of my kids into the future to be raised by their alternate timeline sister so they could be treated for the Techno-Organic Virus. So you always hate to...
I'm so mad at myself that you got so far past I experimented with it a lot before I realized you were doing it bits.
Hey, I did some prep work, Jesse.
All right, moving on. Wolverine, Horsemen of War, 4 cost, 3 power, objective. This has 5 or more power. Give one of your cards at each location plus 3 power. I did not see this guy a whole lot. I think I saw him one time. I ended up with him in my hand somehow, probably by some random generator or White Palace or something. But yeah, I can't say he was turning my head anyway. I don't know if he was overturning some games or he wasn't used a whole lot. So what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I didn't see him a ton. I could think of some cards he would work well with, including one coming up next season. But yeah, I did not see him a whole lot. The most interesting thing I found related to him was a later What If Volume 2 issue where Wolverine was the Horseman of War, which I think is the only time that actually happened in the comics.
That's got to be like way later in the series. Then. Yeah. Interesting.
No, I didn't do it. I wouldn't have been disappointed if I got him, but no, spoiler alert, the Horsemen were not the main attraction to me this season.
Next up, Archangel, Horseman of Death, 2 cost, 3 power. Objective, your cards are destroyed 4 times. Resurrect 1 here with plus 4 power. Another infrequent visitor amongst my opponents. I did not see him too much. When I did, I think they were using him pretty well, and they would usually either make me retreat or I wouldn't say they were an absolute game turner. But it was a situation where when I did face him, if he was used, bringing back somebody with plus 4 power, I feel like he was used in conjunction with Moira X, I think.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's what I remember anyway. But anyway, your thoughts?
He'd be pretty dangerous with Nimrod, too, probably.
Oh, yeah.
I've got decks that he would work in. I was just messing around with other ones. I actually got him, but haven't used him yet. If I figure out how to integrate him into some decks, that would be a real razor-sharp, paralyzing feather in my cap. But at this point, I have not accomplished that.
All right, next up, Polaris, Horseman of Pestilence, 2 cost, 2 power, objective. Cards in play are afflicted with minus 5 power. Put a card from your hand here. Getting a card out of your hand is kind of nice, and hitting everybody with minus 5, or I should say, putting minus 5 on the board somehow is great. So, but again, did not see Polaris too much, so I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I did not see her a lot either. I kept my comment the same from last time. Caliban, Marrow, Diamondback, of course, Hazmat.
Right.
I see where she could be useful, but I didn't particularly go after her. I didn't see her a whole lot. And honestly, she's another one that irks me because there is a regular Polaris variant of her. Although I don't really see either of them enough to be as super confused by it. But
yeah, someone on Reddit posted that. It was like, hey, I got the Horseman of Pestilence a long time ago. All right. Next up, Storm, Horseman of Famine, 3 cost, 2 power, objective. End 2 turns in a row with unspent energy. Give your other cards here and in your hand plus 2 power. Again, only saw this one a couple times as well. So I don't know if just, again, we're facing a glut of cards out there that you're not going to face. If the meta is strong with a certain archetype, then it's a possibility you're not going to see a lot of these cards. Storm Horseman of Famine was one that I barely had seen. Your thoughts?
I saw her once. I got the never seen before, and I'm like, oh, really? Been that long? Yeah, she, out of all the horse people this season, appealed the most to me, but I took a shot when she was available. That's when I got Techno-Organic Virus. I prefer that one. But yeah, it seems like it will be a useful card, especially since there's a lot of different cards where you want to add power. So I definitely can see it being useful, but it wasn't like a priority for me to go out and get.
The 4 horse people of Apocalypse.
Hey, man, it's the 21st century.
That's right. Get with the times. So, yeah, we're heading to Deadpool's Diner for the next card. Askani-san. 2 cost, 3 power. Activate, create a 1-cost card at another location. This increases, though. The cost of that other card will increase each time you're winning at that location as the turn starts. So, and I say at that location, at the location that Askani-san is at. I grounded out, and I ended up with the card. I immediately threw it into a deck, and I was like, "Oh, this will be fun just to see." I like the chaos part of it. Surprise, surprise. And I haven't really found like a great combo or anything. It's just another. A lot of times, it's probably a card you want in there to fill your lanes. And that's your main. If that's the part of the deck that you're trying to do, for sure, is fill the lane, Dazzler, and other stuff along with it. It's helpful. Is it Jocasta that gives you it's Jocasta that lets you do the extra.
Yeah, that would be good. I'm trying to remember how I used him. I had him in a deck with Mockingbird just to get another card out there. But I can't remember for sure, but I know I would just get him out there, and a lot of times I could get a 4 or 5 cost out of him.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think he's pretty good. There's strategies that he works better with than others, but he's also one that seems like pretty universal that you can throw in there.
Yeah. I like your comment here. When you can't decide if you like Cable or X-Man better.
Yeah.
X-Man is not a card, right? Like X-Man is not a card yet.
He is not, although he looks like this. Oh, there's my note on I was playing one and I won the game because he created Cull Obsidian in the Sanctum Sanctorum.
Oh, nice. That's helpful. That's real helpful.
Definitely.
All right.
So yeah, he had his moment.
Yeah. Then we reach the card that I think we both can agree on has been pretty impactful this season, and that is Mother Askani. 4 cost, 4 power. She was the Grand Arena prize card that you could get, say prize, but she was in the ladder. On reveal, give the leftmost card in your hand plus 2 power and -1 cost, and then you copy it. So, yeah, my note is simple because I won't divulge pretty much my discussion in the meta on what I did with this thing, but I think this is the best card this season, and I love it because it not only is it something that you can get copies of good cards with, it is something that also is very versatile. Because this thing is affecting, you could throw this in just about any deck that you want, really, and maybe get a little extra help. So I toyed with an idea of putting it in with something with like Apocalypse or something like that, but I did not do that. So right now, I'll divulge, like I said, what I did with it in the meta. But I absolutely love Mother Askani. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I stole some of your ideas with her, and yeah, I tried a few different things with her. I've got multiple decks with her. One that uses a lot of the ongoing booster characters, and another one. Well, one of my favorite combos with her was playing her and copying Sasquatch, and then having Sasquatch's number way down, but that still counts as 6 cost of created card, which will activate Gambit Horsemen of Death.
Ooh. Oh my. That's very nice. Very nice. Well,
so that's one pairing I like with it. But yeah, there's a lot of places that she works well in. So that's one that I've been experimenting with a lot.
Okay. All right. Well,
I've actually got 3 decks with her right now.
Yeah, if I had the slots.
We're in a Collectosaur deck too.
If I had the slots, again, she may be up there as far as like top 5 versatile cards because Sunspot goes in just about any deck if you want it to suck up the rest of that energy. And she is one of those that you can lay out there and make things a little bit easier as it rolls around. So, all right, locations. Our first location was the Celestial Circuit. After turn 4, give your hand -1 cost if you had 12 plus power at that location. And I wrote down here, packing Quake this day. That was my last note from last season. And then I wrote down, today, Q Morgan Freeman saying, sadly, he didn't even play that day. I don't recall even playing when Celestial Circuit was featured at all. And I would have loved to have packed Quake and started messing with people. So your thoughts here? I like this. I like the location. You have any thoughts on Celestial Circuits?
Yeah, I don't think I did anything special when it was featured. I have seen it a lot since then. I'm not sure I've ever triggered its power.
Okay. That's tough, man. You got to get 12 in
probably
there.
Me, probably. But yeah, I'm trying to think. There are some cards that can do it, but you have to have it by turn 4.
Right.
So, yeah, it's nice if you can pull it off, but it's hard enough to do that I'm not sure that it's worth it if you don't do it.
All right. Well,
yeah, I was just thinking the other day, I'm like, I don't think I've ever made that work. I've tried a couple of times.
Yeah, same here. And the final, or the second location of the season was Ebonshire. Draw the bottom card of your deck. And this is another one where I don't believe I played. I might have caught it towards the end, but I would have loved to use Legion or something on it, but I just never did. And I also put a note here, the events have got me ignoring featured locations sometimes, because there's events that are going on. I'm trying to get through that, and I know I've made this comment on previous episodes, but it is what it is. So if you want to play that day and maybe get some cubes, and you got a way of taking advantage of the location. With Ebonshire, really, there isn't much of an advantage. You're just pulling extra cards, and if you Legion it, everybody's getting extra cards, but more cards always help.
Yeah, it's nice, but there's not really a way to strategize around it.
All right. Well, there you go, man. That is our discussion on X-Men End of Days. Thanks a lot for joining us. Make sure to tune in tomorrow for the next installment of Snap Material.